Cells, the basic structure of life, yet one of the most complex life forms in existence. While understanding the cell might be a little complicated, we can compare the cell to something that is easier to understand, such as an orchestra. As you can see in the image, we can see various parts of the orchestra being compared to various parts of the cell. Now you can see the nucleus in the center acting as the conductor of an orchestra. And here's why. The nucleus controls and regulates the activities of the cell, such as growth and metabolism. Similarly, the conductor of an orchestra is a person who conducts, controls, and regulates the other musicians in the orchestra. You can almost view them as like the president of a country, but in this case, the nucleus is the core leader of the cell, and the conductor is the core leader of an orchestra. But surely there must be something to keep the components in place, right? This is where the cytoplasm comes in. It is the gel-like fluid inside the cell, and it is the medium for chemical reaction. It provides a platform upon which other organelles can operate within the cell. Similarly, the stage is what holds the musicians of an orchestra. The stage provides space and platforms for musicians and their various instruments. Next up, we have the mitochondria. And yes, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. It generates most of the chemical energy needed to power the cell's biochemical reactions. The powerhouse of the orchestra is the violin section, and here's why. Similar to the mitochondria, the violin section of an orchestra is the most powerful section and what leads the melody. Take a listen to this musical piece. You can hear the violin being the most powerful aspect of the orchestra. Next is the Golgi apparatus. It is also known as a Golgi body, and it is a cell organelle that helps process and package proteins and liquid molecules. Quite similar to this organelle is the bass section of an orchestra. The bass section of an orchestra produces the bass, which helps the melody to feel more complete. You can sort of view the bass as like the packaging. It helps to encompass the music, and it is like the partner for the melody. Now here is an example of what I mean by that. The microvilli is an organelle that increases the cell surface area and thus facilitates absorption for ingested food and water molecules. This is quite similar to the horn instrument section of an orchestra. In a sense, the saxophones and other horn instruments help to make the theater feel more spacious and absorb other noises. And what do I mean by that? Here, take a quick listen. Next on the agenda is the endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum's general function is to produce proteins for the rest of the cell to function. The endoplasmic reticulum is a collection of tubes that make, package, and transport proteins and fats. The percussion section of the orchestra is similar in that it produces the beat and rhythm for the other instruments to follow. It is just like the endoplasmic reticulum, which produce proteins for the rest of the cell to function. This is a perfect sample of what I mean. You can hear the other instruments follow the percussion in the music. Last but not least, we have the cell membrane. The cell membrane provides protection for a cell. It also provides a fixed environment inside the cell, and that membrane has several different functions. One is to transport nutrients to the cell, and also to transport toxic substances outside of the cell. The cell membrane would be compared to the theater. The theater is what holds the orchestra, and is the location where the performances are held. It is the building where the visitors go in and the threats are kept out. You can think of it as like the security. That's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed the video and learned something from it. I'm Jassian Balaria from 12 St. Priscilla, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.